All right, so in order to take this awesome McFarlane Batmobile toy and make it a truly great, customized Goobsium showpiece, we're gonna need to do a few things to make it really stand out. So first and foremost, we're gonna take care of the lights. And in order to do that, we're gonna cast molds of the existing lights and crack those existing lights out. We're gonna do an epoxy pour into those molds and color code them so they match and fill those with some LEDs. We're gonna wire the whole thing up and light it up. Also, we're gonna need to take care of a glaring omission for this toy, and that's taking care of the gas caps. And I think I have a pretty simple solution for that. Also, the fins come as a separate item, a separate piece that gets clipped in. So we're gonna fill those seams, sand it, and paint everything all to match. We're gonna paint, we're gonna mask everything off for the glass and for those existing pieces that do not need paint. We'll do some additional detail painting, weathering, and finally we're gonna seal the whole thing up. Let's take a look at some of the tools we're gonna use to take care of this. So we've got our Citadel Chaos Black, our Rust-Oleum Satin Clear. We've got our LEDs situated here, always Gorilla Super Gel. We've got Easy Coat Clear Epoxy and amazing mold putty, as well as some epoxy resin dyes to get those lenses correct. Here we have our two-part epoxy putty mold. All right, so now we have our hardener and our resin. And what we're gonna do now is we have 20 milliliters of each. We're gonna go ahead and add these in to our cup. Very thoroughly. The goal is to eliminate bubbles here. I try and mirror the color of the originals as best as I can here. I think that's a pretty good ratio there. I think we're going to get a little bit darker. Now I've gone ahead and I have taken the Batmobile apart. And what we're going to do is we are going to drill out where the rear taillights sit so we can cast those properly. Time to cast up some molds for our taillights here. Now while we wait on our molds, let's figure out how we're going to situate this battery housing. Now we're ready to pour our taillights. Now we're going to work on drilling out the headlights. Alright, we've gone ahead and burrowed out all of the headlights there. We're going to need to clean that up a little bit. So at this point, we've gotten all of the headlights kind of sussed out, tail lights all carved out. So they're in a good space right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this thing a good, just a nice wipe down with some rubbing alcohol, just to get all the gunk and loose material off of it. And then after that, I think we're gonna go ahead and start filling in these fins. And I've gone ahead and made an executive decision here, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on those gas tanks. So we got our pin vise here, and we're just waiting for this guy to pop through. There we go. So we have our tack. And I'm honestly debating whether it's good enough with just the tack, or if I really need the whole thing. Let's take a look. I think I'm more of the mind to just go with the tack. Alright, now we have our gas tanks in. Now it's just a matter of filling in those fins. All right, it has been roughly 24-ish hours since we cast these, and they are still soft, but that's a good thing because we want them to be. So let's take a look and see how they came out and put them through the LED test here. So a little bit of marbling, but that's okay. We want that kind of frosted look here. Get that genuine gold that the existing lights already had. So let's take a look and let's get our LED test here. Turn that on. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Really cool. So now, while everything is curing, we are going to see if we can pop a hole through this interior so we can burrow a light in here. All right, time to get sanding. So let's do it. All right, that's about it for sanding. I'm gonna clean this guy up and I think get him ready for some paint. do a little bit of masking of some of the key areas, and we're good to go. Alright, one more coat of silver on the wheels, and the bottom will be essentially done. So we will go ahead and seal that after we get this last bit of silver in here. Yep, coat number 2. That's the magic touch. All right, so I just finished sanding and painting and sanding and painting and sanding and sanding and sanding and painting and clear coating and satin coating, then matte coating, then satin coating, then matte coating again, this Batmobile. And honestly, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever made. So up next, putting it all back together. All right, in what has been arguably one of the longest weeks of my life, after much sanding and painting, we're finally here. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've, let's see if you can see that there. So I've roughed in the headlights that I created, and I'm gonna need to drill some holes for our LEDs in the rear here. And then I need to hot glue these lenses in so they can go anywhere. And then we have all of our LEDs that we're gonna situate and put those in, and hopefully call it a day on this thing. Need a little bit of detail painting. Not much else. I'm not gonna get crazy. I do need to paint the gas caps that I built in. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and stay tuned. All right, so we are all wired up. Headlights in, taillights, cockpit light is on. Excellent. Glue the battery housing in to the base. Just wow. Best thing I've ever built? I would say wholeheartedly yes. We are almost done with this project. Just need to paint our gas caps here. Not sure what other detail work I'm going to attempt. So I don't know if it really needs it or not, but I do want it to be very screen accurate. I think that's going to wrap this up. So stay tuned for some